This is part 2 of all the upgrades for 2024. I'm working with Dog Toy and a buddy of mine on his Pro R. Mine's a Turbo R. I was starting out with the wiring harnesses for the lights, the Ridgid chase light on the rear, and then I've got the Pro Armor light bar on the front here. I've run into a couple snags. If you happen to buy these wiring harnesses from Polaris, just beware that for the overhead light bar on the front, they sell you a kit. It's only half of it. It includes the relay, the part that plugs into their bus bar, as they call it, pulse bar, and the switch. And you get a short lead with what connects to another wiring harness that I don't have. It's on order. So other than hooking this up in the dash, I can't go much further with that. As for the Ridgid chase bar, the factory harness that you can buy for that, I found out it's kind of neat. It uses 2 of the 4 functions. They didn't wire the other 2 functions that you could use for your turn signals or other light schemes. They don't have to be connected to turn signals if you don't want. So in looking at the wiring harness for the Ridgid chase light, this is what Polaris gives you to plug into your taillight wiring harnesses, which I thought, oh great, they'll have everything connected. I'm wrong. They're skipped 2 wires, which are for 2 functions on the Ridgid chase light. You should have all 6 wires connected. They left 2 out. I purchased the pin kit and the crimping tool, which is even more money, so I can connect the other 2 functions. What's the point of buying an expensive chase light if you can't use all the functions? So I don't know what Polaris was thinking about. So just beware if you're buying the factory harness and thinking you're just going to plug it all in and it's all going to work, because there's more stuff you need to do. So we're at a standstill with that project. So it'll be on to the turn signal kit. So here's the turn signal kit. You can see the wires that go back for the taillights, for the turn signals in the rear. This is what the kit comes with for the front turn signals, which I know is not enough to satisfy Michigan. But I bought the headlights with the amber lights built in, so I don't have to worry about that. Your controller box, it has a time function. This is a self-canceling turn signal kit, so you don't have to worry about leaving them on. Depending on how long you hold the turn signal button on the column will determine. It's got 3 sets of delays, whether it blinks 3 times or 8 times or like 32 times. So it's kind of a neat thing. I kind of like it. Got a nice aluminum lever that mounts on the steering wheel column. I have added a 2-sided permanent 3M self-adhesive to it, so even with the clamp, it won't be moving around on my steering column. So I will show you when it's all installed what it looks like. So let me begin. Alright, as for the installation of the turn signals, this is where I'm at. I connected the 2 wires into the dash. We have zip tied everything up as neatly as we can. Installed the lever handle. Looks like it's going to be really good. Up under the front end, hard to see, but my horn is over here, screwed down. I got the wiring going to each side. I have not run the wiring harness to the back. Lack of space. Here is the control box, mounted basically straight in front of the steering wheel on the driver head side. I did run the wiring down through here, including the power. Power actually goes the other way, and I looped it around and brought it in. The pulse bar does not have enough ports. eBay sells these Ys, so you can plug two things in. The only thing you have to watch is going to be the wire gauge size. This is quite light. Anything that requires a lot of power would not be suitable for. But these LED lights and some of the other stuff, it's perfectly fine to split them. I don't think you'll have any issues. But we continue on to the dash, and I have the horn button with a key on. It lights up. You got your four ways. Dash lights do work. I have the two lights laying up on top. We have the horn. You tap it again, turns off your hazards. The turn signal, like I said, you can tap it, it'll run and then shut off, and if you hold it longer and let off, it'll run even longer, so you don't have to worry about leaving them on. Well, I'm pretty excited. It's starting to go back together. It's starting to look like the machine it used to be, with one exception. I now have turn signals. I think it's pretty cool how this works. I like the looks. I'm not sure if I'm going to use these on the side. I might possibly install these in the side of my fender for just a little more light, but I don't know if I want to do that. So I'll show you around the machine. Starting to wrap up a lot of my wiring. If I deem this to be permanent, I will solder, heat shrink, and seal everything up. The plug that was on the headlight itself, it came with its own harness, so I borrowed the harness that came with it, cut it down, and added on to mine. Of course, I just temporarily had the wires shoved in there, so it fell apart on me. So we'll see if I keep these side markers. They're more of just a turn signal. We come back around the back. Come in here a little bit, and there is the splitter that you add into the back. This side here has the wires for the license plate light, which I still got to figure out where I want to run it to, so I haven't zip tied any of this back yet because I'll have to take it back out so I can reconnect to those wires. So let's now talk about the Chase wiring harness. Now that I have ran both of the harnesses here back together, I have cut into the turn signal harness, soldered and resealed everything back up. I now have a right and a left hand turn signal to run with the Chase light that is right now is just brake and power on. I don't know why Polaris left out the other pins. It's like it wasn't even optional. So I'm waiting on some more of this loom material that I can wrap around all this and zip tie it all back in place. And then of course I have the pin kit on order for that plug, so I can add those wires in and then we can play with those functions. In the back of the machine here, this is the harness for the chase light. I use self tappers and the rubber coated clamps again above the engine bay because I don't want any of this to fall down into the engine or on the turbo or anything to get melded. But this is the Y splitter, so you unhook this one from the connector under here and then connect them back together again, and then this comes back to the taillights. It's a shame that they didn't add the other wires there so you could tap into them there. Alright, I'll give you a quick demonstration on how this works. You have your switch, you have an on and off position, and then one more bump up is actually a program button. So you can set the on function without touching anything, and then you just bump this up to go through all the different cycles that the chase light does. If you want to program the brake to something different, you hold the brake on and then you can program it. It's the same way with the other two inputs that are missing that can be used for turn signals. I'll have yet to figure out how that works because I'm assuming I'm going to have to make that a steady on to program it. But the brake light was already pre-programmed, so I can quick give you a demonstration of that. There's the brake light. Alright, that pretty much wraps up today. We'll should be able to get another one out next week on the next things that we work on as we slowly get this thing put back together. So, till next time, I'll see you again. Thanks for watching.